Hi everybody, and welcome to Healthy Bites. Healthy Bites is a collaboration between Nevada County Media and Nevada County Public Health. My name is Shauna Schultz, and I will be your host. I am a registered dietitian and nutrition educator with the CalFresh Healthy Living program. And CalFresh Healthy Living provides nutrition education and physical activity education in the community. And I'm very excited to be here to show you some tasty and affordable and family-friendly recipes. So for today's episode, we are focusing on heart health. February is American Heart Month. So I'll be showing you some easy recipes that include fruits, vegetables, and fiber because all of those contribute to a healthy heart. So on the menu for today, we have a green smoothie and we will be making a warm lentil salad. All of these recipes can be found on eatfresh.org. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll start with the smoothie. Very easy to put together. In our smoothie, we will be using coconut milk, but you can use any kind of milk that you have at home or what you prefer. We'll be using some fresh apple. We have some pineapple and banana. For our greens, we have some kale. And that's it, pretty simple. So we'll go ahead and start by using about 1 cup of milk, and I'll save a little bit in case we need it to thin it out a bit. So this is an unsweetened vanilla coconut milk, and it is fortified with calcium and vitamin D, so very tasty non-dairy alternative. We have about 1/2 cup of pineapple and 1/2 banana, and I did freeze these a little bit. It helps to have at least kind of like one element of your smoothie frozen. You can always add ice, but sometimes ice will water it down a bit. And so I like to have some frozen bananas on hand, which is also a really great way to use your overripe bananas. You know, if you don't have anything else to do with them, you can freeze them and they make your smoothies nice and sweet and creamy. So we have our banana, our pineapple, and I have a small apple here. You can use any type of apple. This is a Honeycrisp. Happens to be my favorite, but any apple will work. All right. And we don't have to be too particular about how we're cutting things because of course it's going to all be blended up. So we'll just throw our apple in here. The apple and the pineapple lend a nice sweetness, and that will help kind of mask the flavor of the greens, which works really well if you have some particular people in your household who maybe are scared of eating or drinking their greens. So it kind of masks the flavor a little bit. All right, so I'm actually going to give this a quick blend and then we'll add in our kale. Let's see. Move this guy over here. So I'm going to just work this blender up to high and we'll get it nice and creamy. All right, now we're ready to add our kale. You can use really any type of green that you would like. Sometimes it's easier to start off with something like spinach. It's very tender and it has like a very, kind of like a sweet flavor. But we're gonna try kale today because kale is full of vitamins and minerals and what we call phytonutrients. And these phytonutrients are very heart protective. They act as antioxidants and they help protect our cells from damage. And this includes our heart, our blood vessels. All right, so you can easily just take a kale leaf. You can put the rib or the stem in there if you want to, but I'm gonna leave them out. Just will be a little less bitter. But you can kind of take the leaves off at the bottom, and you can strip the leaves off pretty easily. And we'll go ahead and add a little bit more. All right. And we'll give it a blend until it's nice and green. Okay, so let's pour this into a cup. We'll give it a taste. I mean, it's actually kind of a pretty green color. I like it. So this can be an easy way to sneak some greens in to your family in an easy way. And this probably makes about 2 servings. All right. And if you wanted it a little bit thicker, you could add some ice, or you could just add more frozen fruit. And there we have our green smoothie. I'm gonna give it a quick taste. It's delicious. It's creamy, it's a little frothy, and I can't even really tell that there's kale in there. So I hope you try this at home, and we will get to moving on to our new recipe. All right, so we'll move on to our second recipe, and the second recipe is a warm lentil salad. So just a different way to use lentils. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about these lentils, but first I want to get some carrots started into the skillet here. So I have a little bit of olive oil in this skillet. We're at like a medium-high heat. And I have 1 carrot that's been chopped. So we're going to add that to our pan. And then we're also going to add a little bit of garlic. Probably 1 or 2 cloves would be good. This is pre-chopped. I like to have some pre-chopped garlic for the week in my refrigerator. I just keep it in a little oil. So then it's nice and convenient. Okay, so we'll add a couple spoonfuls. You know, maybe a little bit more. All right. Garlic is actually very good for blood cholesterol levels, so very heart healthy. So let's give this a quick little stir, and then we'll talk about our lentils. We're just gonna cook this maybe just for a few minutes until the carrots are softened. You could add onion if you wanted to, that would be fine as well. All right, so the main star of our dish are lentils, and you can use any type of lentil that you want. I used a French lentil, which they hold their shape well, so they're really good for a salad, but a brown lentil, a green lentil, a yellow lentil would also work fine. So these have been pre-cooked. I just simmered them for about 25 to 30 minutes and gave them a drain and a rinse. And so they're good to go. Lentils are an excellent source of protein. So great if you're plant-based. This is a good way to get some protein into your diet. But for heart health, they're also a very, very good source of fiber. And fiber helps manage blood cholesterol levels. And high cholesterol levels are a risk factor for heart disease. So good way to get a good amount of fiber in your diet is just by using legumes like beans, peas, and lentils. All right, so I cooked about a cup dry, so there's probably about 2 cups here. And we'll add them to our skillet here in a minute or 2. I'll just give this a quick stir. It smells delicious with the garlic. And I chose olive oil because olive oil is a good source of monounsaturated fats, so also very heart healthy. Okay, so to add a little flavor to our salad, we'll basically be making just a real quick but a small portion of like a red wine vinaigrette. So here I have about a tablespoon of red wine vinegar and a tablespoon of olive oil. And then here I have a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. So I'm just gonna add the mustard to our olive oil and vinegar. And we'll give it a quick stir. This will add like a nice tanginess and just kind of give it like a a depth of flavor. Right. So I've got a quick stir. I'm gonna add like a pinch or two of salt. All right. A little stir again. All right. So we'll put these on hold for a second. We are going to add some flavor with some herbs. Herbs and spices are very healthy for you. They're actually quite high in phytonutrients that act as antioxidants, and they add a lot of yummy flavor to your food. And so the key to eating more healthy food is to make it taste better. So we'll be using thyme. This is what your thyme looks like. See, that one tried to escape. And you can just kind of strip these little tiny thyme leaves off of the stem. The stems on a thyme leaf are just a little more sturdy, kind of tough. So I usually don't use them in cooking. If you don't have fresh thyme on hand, you could use dried thyme, maybe like a teaspoon, and that would be fine. Thyme is also very easy to grow. My thyme that I have out in a little pot on my patio grows year-round, and it does really, really well. So it's kind of one of my favorite herbs. I'm surprised that it's growing so well right now. All right, let's see, we'll do maybe one more stem here. See what we can get off of there. All right, perfect. We'll give this a quick stir. Oh, the thyme is so fragrant too. That, like, combined with the garlic, smells delicious. All right, let's go ahead and add in our lentils. This will be a pretty filling meal. When you have fiber in your meal, you stay fuller for a lot longer, so you feel very satiated, which is important. We don't want to feel hungry all of the time. All right. So, got our lentils in there, and then we'll add our Dijon red wine vinegar, olive oil mixture, and we'll give it another stir. All right. And just until it's all combined. Little stir, almost there. I'm going to turn this up a bit. Okay, now let's talk about how we're going to use this salad. You could just eat it as is. You could eat it over a salad mixture, like mixed greens with other vegetables in them. It could be a side dish. You could stuff something with it, like a red bell pepper, for example. But I thought that we would make a wrap. And for our wrap, we are going to be using some greens. So just kind of another sneaky way to get more greens into your diet. People tend to not eat a lot of greens, but they are very nutrient dense. So it's good to try to work them into your day as much as you can. And so what I chose to use as our wrap is a collard green. And I chose collard green because they have kind of like nice, wide, flat leaves, as you can see here. And they're pretty sturdy and actually quite bendable. So they actually make a good substitute for a tortilla, and they also look really pretty too. So this one is all prepped and ready to go. And what I did to get it ready to go, I'll show you with this one here, but I just chopped off the very end of the stem, and we have the rib kind of going through the center of the leaf here, and it helps just to kind of shave that rib off a little bit so that you are not going to break your leaf when you try to roll it. So I just take my knife and then shave off as much of the rib as I can. And then you can kind of test it and, see if it's going to be easy to wrap or not as you go along. If you're having a particularly difficult time, you can always just blanch it in some hot water and then put it into some cold water real quick. But I found that just trimming off that rib works pretty well. Right. So this looks like it's ready to go, this mixture here. So I'm going to turn our burner off. And we'll add some to our leaf and we'll roll it up. The key is to at least try not to overfill. I seem to always have a hard time doing that. So we'll put just a little bit in the middle here. And then basically we are going to roll it like a burrito, right? So we can fold up each end and then take our top and we can roll it down. And it helps if you have a few little toothpicks on hand. Keep your wrap together. And voila. Might need to put those toothpicks in a little tighter. All right. And then if you wanted, you could serve it with some pita chips. I would even use the pita chips as kind of like a vehicle for this lentil salad, and that could make a really quick, healthy snack as well. But here we have it. We have our wrap using our collard greens with our warm lentil salad. We have a green smoothie, so we're getting lots of fiber, lots of vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients into our day to help keep our heart nice and healthy. So I hope that you enjoy these recipes at home. Again, you can find them on eatfresh.org, and I look forward to seeing you next time.